as we were progressing towards the understanding of the growth of Bombay, now we shall finalize about how did Bombay become the prime city of India. As we all know, prime city is something which is a very important one. Generally, we have India Prime Minister, the most important person in the Indian context, the most powerful person according to the Indian Constitution is the Prime Minister. In the same way, the term prime has some special importance. So, the prime city in India, Bombay. How did Bombay become the prime city of India? That is the fundamental question before us. So, in order to establish the facts and to know actually what happened to make Bombay to be the most attention grasping center during that time. Actually, Bombay was not part of the British India domain at all. Bombay consists of 7 island group together, and Bombay was initially occupied by Portuguese people. So, in the first part of the lesson, we shall now understand that Bombay was not at all occupied prior to this by anybody else. Bombay was occupied by the Portuguese. Portuguese later on, how did Britain establish their headquarters in Bombay? How did Bombay become the prime city in British India if Portuguese are the people who occupied the city first with having establishing their authority? You may generally assume that maybe Britishers and Portuguese people may had a war which resulted in the defeat of the Portuguese, and with that the Britain might have occupied the Bombay. No, the story was different in this case. The story was Britain or the British did not do any war to occupy Bombay, or neither did any provoking things to attack the local kings to occupy that one and later defeating the local kings and occupying the place. It was a gift to the king. Yes, you heard it right. It was a gift to the king because king married the queen. What is a special point in this? King obviously marries a queen. Yes, the point is British King Charles II got married to Portuguese princess. You got the point? British King Charles II got married to Portuguese princess. In return of this marital bond, they have given as a gift the authority and the administrative rules to the Britain. So, this marriage has brought the change of authority, shifting from Portuguese control to the British control. So, now the ruling authority of Bombay has been got transformed from the Portuguese people to the Britishers. That's how in 1661, without any war, without any aggression, without fighting any battles, Britishers were able to establish their control over the Bombay. After establishing their control, as soon as the news spread to the English East India Company, immediately the English East India Company shifted its centers trading from Surat to West Port of Bombay. So, that's how the main focus towards Bombay has come up, and later on, initially Bombay was the place where the cotton which we get from Gujarat has been exported. It has been a major outlet from where we get cotton. Gujarat we get cotton. Surat was a place where initially East India Company used to collect the cotton and export it. After having a wide Arabian Sea opening here in Mumbai or in the Bombay, so as the control has gone to the Britishers, so they would felt might be that it would be a better place to do this facilities and all, and port area was good connectivity, nice large port available for them, good place to establish. So, all these things made them to shift from the Surat to the West Port of Bombay. From there they used to do exporting the product initially, but later on, because of the massive facilities available, good connectivity from the port to the interior and from the interior to the port, that made Mumbai or the Bombay to be the main place to export and import the raw products, especially the raw cotton and opium. With this, with the getting up of the opium trade into India, Mumbai became one of the most important administrative centers for the Britishers. As I told you before also, opium was something which is very, very costly, and the money which they got on opium was being used to balance their deficit amounts wherever they are doing trade with the other countries at very loss in amount, or it's like an extra surplus amount what they are getting from India. So with that extra surplus amount what they are getting in India, the focus was in Bombay. So obviously Bombay became the main administrative center for the Britishers, and it became, and we also can travel from Bombay directly to Britain, where we through via this Atlantic Ocean, and all these ways has given a chance for Bombay to establish herself as a prime city. So later on, after getting established as the prime city, slowly one after the other, the major industries started to step in, and by the end of the 19th century, it became to be the major industrial center in the entire British Indian territory. So that's the story of Bombay, the introduction of Bombay. Why did Bombay become the premier city? Bombay was actually occupied by Portuguese people. Portuguese did not got defeated in the hands of Britishers, nor they were being attacked by anybody else. In return to the marriage of Portuguese princess with the King of Britain, Charles II, as a marital agreement, a bond, as a gift, it was being given the administrative rights to the Britain people. As soon as the news spread for them, the English East India Company immediately shifted her offices from Surat towards west port of Bombay. That's how the Britishers were able to establish their control in the matter of administration, in the matter of the entire political as well as the geographical authorities were established, which gave a chance for them to groom Bombay. Initially, Bombay was also a normal city where the population was not so high. But after these changes happened, the population went on growing day by day, because day by day Bombay is growing. Bombay was first an outlet center for Gujarat's cotton. Later, it was an important export and import place, business place, where raw cotton and opium was brought. Opium is something which was done by the Britishers to get the surplus amount, extra profitable amount, to compensate their losses with the other colonial countries what they were doing trade, especially with China. And later it turned to be the most important administrative center, and then a major industrial center. This is a slow rapid growth of Bombay. So let us see how is the life in Bombay, how are the workers in Bombay, what did Bombay do to its workers when London was not able to do much benefits for its workers. What did Bombay do?
If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel to get more videos on CBSE syllabus.